Before we start the session, I know last week we went over some things, talked about some stuff, and I just wanted to make sure before we continue that if there was anything that you'd like to put right out front to talk to me about and to discuss, if you're comfortable with it, you're more than welcome to.
Thanks, Abby. It's just been a really hard week. Um, I've got 8 kids, and 6 of them went to school. And I mean, this is the first time in like a year and a half that I've had only the little two ones at home. And I was really looking forward to it. I thought it was going to just let me get stuff done, and I don't know. And it was just worse than when everyone was home. It just felt totally, because when everyone's home, it's like it doesn't matter if the house is a mess because you have 8 kids running around. But if they're at school and then the house is a mess, it's like, well, what's my excuse?
So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hearing that you kind of expect, when most of your kids were, going to go to school, they'd be out of the house, so you'd have basically more time to be able to, have everything more neat and maybe just a little bit of less responsibility. It feels like nothing has really changed, and you're still feeling all of those like overwhelming, responsible emotions.
I am. That is how I feel. And I love my husband, and he's such a good man. He's such a good provider. I mean, he's really generous with my weekly allowance. Um, but I think with everyone back too, that he's just been kind of disappointed in me. Like he said the other day, he's like, hun, the kids come home and do their homework. You've got homework too, like cleaning the house, and you're not doing your homework. And it made me mad, but I just thought he's right.
All right. And I know that it seems like you're kind of, correct me also if I'm wrong, you're kind of taking on everything by yourself. How does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel really sad and lonely. And, my fibromyalgia has been acting up, which it's just, it's like people don't believe it. It's like you told them that, you have a unicorn coming in your house and ruining things. Like people just don't think it's real. And so I just feel like I am so alone in my pain.
And I know that we discussed last week that the pain just keeps on getting worse and worse. And
Yeah.
have you communicated this with your husband at all? Have you been able to, have you had the opportunity to express to him and say, I am in a lot of pain. I really do need some help around the house.
I've tried, but he's so busy. I mean, he's starting a new company and he's working from home. So when the two little ones act up, like I have to take them outside because they get too loud. And I mean, he doesn't kick me out, but like I can just, see that look. He just kind of, gives me that look. And I know that I just have to keep everyone quiet so that he can work. And sometimes we just get in the car and we just sit in the car. I mean, the other day, like, you're gonna think I'm nuts. I strapped the two little ones in the car during their nap time. And then I got onto my Target app. I ordered a blanket and a pillow. And then I drove to Target. They brought it out to me. And then I parked in the back of the parking lot and my kids watched a movie. And I took a nap in the back of the car. Like I just used that pillow and that blanket.
All right, Heather. Well, first, I just want to say I do not think you're crazy. And second, I just want to say thank you for being so open and vulnerable and sharing that with me. So I know we discussed last week, I gave you a rating scale and I said rate yourself on 1 to 10 about how you were doing. And last week you were about a 4 or 5. So I want to ask you this week with that same exact scale, are you still at a 4 or 5, or have you moved up, or have you moved down?
Well, sometimes I feel like on Instagram, I can like pull it together to like post stuff and you can kind of spin things like, oh, isn't it cute that like the toddler took all my makeup and like did the white couch, But like, and I have a lot of likes and people support that. Like I'm an Instagram 8, but like, damn it, I'm a 2. Like if I'm being totally honest, like I am a 2.
Heather, you're really good at being honest to yourself, and more importantly, you're really honest with us as well, so that we know how to help you. Have you wished you were dead, or wished you could go to sleep and never wake up?
Every day. Every day when I wake up, I just can hardly even get out of bed. Like I just don't know if I can do it.
So it sounds like to me you don't have motivation to live anymore. Have you actually had any thoughts of killing yourself?
I mean, would I ever, get a gun and blow my brains out or, climb to the roof and jump off? No. But I'm telling you, when I'm driving and like traffic is bad or things, the conditions aren't great, like I've taken to unbuckling my seatbelt and driving a little faster and just, I don't know, I think it might be a relief to be in a car accident. I just think, if I just disappeared, if it's a car accident, no, yeah.
So besides car accidents, have you thought about how you might kill yourself?
No, it's the car. I mean, I nap in that car. I like that, if I'm going down, like that car's going with me.
Have you started to work out the details of how to kill yourself? Like when you do it, where you want to do it? Have you thought about that?
I don't know. I mean, last week when it was super rainy, I just thought, oh my gosh, like I could totally go for a drive and it would just look like an accident. But I had the two littles with me and I can't do anything to them. So I don't know. I don't have any, I don't have any time frame.
So Heather, how often do you have these thoughts?
Oh, every day. Every day.
Okay, and when they occur to you, how long do you find that they last?
I mean, sometimes it's fleeting, but sometimes like I can go down the escape rabbit hole for a couple hours, like or even longer, and just kind of think about what a relief it would be. And that it might be a relief. My kids might be better off with somebody who's not such a mess. I mean, I just don't see myself ever getting better.
What problems do you think that that course of action would solve?
Well, I mean, like I said, my husband's a really good provider and he always takes time for self-care. He still goes to the gym and I work really hard to create, his vegan meals. So I mean he's really handsome. And so I think he'd remarry. I mean, I know that sounds like heartless, but I just think he would remarry and my kids would maybe have a more stable mom. I just feel like I'm such a burden to everybody.
I don't see you as a burden at all. When these thoughts occur to you, what pulls you out of that thought spiral that you described,
Um,
out of that rabbit hole?
it's usually one of the kids. I mean, the little one, he'll just come up and put his little chubby hands on my cheeks and he'll look at me with such trust. And I just think, oh my gosh, despite everything, I just love the hell out of you.
Do you ever find that you can pull yourself out of those thought spirals when they occur?
Not really. I mean, it's usually either I get distracted by, someone needs my help with something. But when I'm on my own, yeah.
We'll need to talk about this further.
All right, well, let's get started in analyzing Heather, who's just really having a hard time. I think she definitely falls under the criteria that she wishes she were dead. She made that very clear. She's struggling, and I think that everything just feels too much and too heavy, and she really sees that dying is an escape.
I definitely agree with you. And definitely, falling under category number 2, non-specific active suicidal thoughts. She did admit to us multiple times that she has had thoughts of killing herself, and they're very persistent and they last for long durations of time. And it's very hard for her to get out of that cycle and to get out of that specific mindset. So that's definitely something that I think that is very much a red flag.
Yeah, I also think that Heather is actually falling into category 3 as well, active suicidal ideation with methods. She mentioned a few times that she wanted to get in a car accident and just to be done with. And I think that's pretty serious.
Most definitely. And I even think it goes to that 4th level, because she does have some intent to act. And even further to the point, she's begun to act on those thoughts in ways that she still tries to deem accidental. She's still evading that responsibility of the decision that she's making, but driving in adverse conditions without a seatbelt, she's opening up opportunities in her life for that to occur.
Yeah.
So my personal feeling is that her case is outside of the scope of our practice, and it's time to refer her to a behavioral hospital for more formal assessments.
I concur.
Agree.